Hello students, so we have started chapter number 10, that is gravitation. In our last lecture we have studied that what is gravitation. We have also studied Newton's law of universal gravitation, and we have also studied value of this gravitational constant, and we have studied the formulas for calculating force which is created by gravitation, which was like this, where F is force, G is gravitational constant, M and M is product of mass, and D is distance between two objects. So here we have seen that F is inversely proportional to this distance. So whenever distance gets bigger, force will get smaller and smaller. Like if you say that distance got bigger by 6 times, then force will be smaller by 1 upon 36 times, because here d square, so 6 square is 36. And this law of gravitation is called as universal law of gravitation. Why? Because it is applicable to all bodies, whether the bodies are big or small, whether they are celestial or terrestrial, means they are on any mountains or on the plain land. This universal law of gravitation applies for all these objects. That's why it is called as universal law of gravitation. Now we have studied these formulas, so let us study an example which is given in your textbook, example 10.1. So this example says that the mass of earth is 6 into 10 raised to the power 24 kg, and that of moon means another m, which is 7.4 into 10 raised to the power 22 kg. And if the distance between earth and moon, so d is equal to 3.84 into 10 raised to the power 5 kilometer. These all values are given in example, in question. So we have to calculate force exerted by earth on the moon. So now we have all of these, but we have to convert this kilometer into meter, because in this formula the SI unit was Newton's meter square kg inverse square. So here you have to use calculator in all of the questions regarding this chapter, because the values are bigger to calculate by without using calculator. So we have to convert this into meter, so it will be 3.84 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter. And we have gravitational constant G, which value was given by a scientist Henry Cavendish, which we have talked about in our last lecture. So value of G is 6.7 into 10 raised to the power minus 11. So if we put all of these value in this equation, we can calculate the force exerted by earth on the moon. So force is equal to m into m, so we have to multiply these two value, that is 6.7. first we have to multiply gravitational value also, here it is given, so it is 6.7 into 10 to the power minus 11 into mass of earth, that is 6 into 10 raised to the power 24, into mass of moon, that is 7.4 into 10 raised to the power 22. 2. So we have this value. Now upon distance square, we have to put square of this distance. So it is 3.84 into 10 raised to the power 8 square. So by calculating this in calculator, you will get the value force that is exerted by earth on the moon, which is 2.02 into 10 raised to the power 20 Newton, because SI unit of force is Newton. So this way you can use this formula to calculate force, to calculate gravitation, or all to calculate distance between two objects if the other values are given. Now, how this universal law of gravitation was important? The Newton gave us this universal law of gravitation, but how this was important? This was important because it explained several phenomena, means several activities which are happening around us, which were explained by this universal law of gravitation. Like the first one is force of earth that binds us to it. Why we are attracted towards our earth, it was explained by this universal law of gravitation. Second thing was motion of moon around earth. We didn't know why moon goes around the earth before this law of gravitation. Likewise, also motion of planets around earth in our solar system. It was also explained that every planet has its own gravitational force. Every product or every matter on this universe has their force or has attraction between them. And the last one, which was explained by this law, it was tides. What is tides? The movement of oceans, that is bharti ot. It is tides in English. It is either high tide or low tide. These tides are due to moon and sun. That's why the tides are generally higher when it is full moon, because moon is very nearer to the earth. So these tides are also due to gravitational force of moon and sun on the earth. So these are the importance, or these phenomenon were explained by this universal law of gravitation. So this is the importance of universal law of gravitation. Now we will study free fall. Now what is free fall? This term you are aware by chapter number 8, which was motion, that whenever an object is thrown from a height on the surface of earth, this object will get uniformly accelerated. Means the direction of this object will not change when it is falling free on the earth. So when direction doesn't change, and due to attraction of this earth or gravitation of the earth, this object will accelerated uniformly, means its velocity or acceleration will be increasing uniformly. So it is illustrated by an activity which says that you have to take a stone and throw it upwards, so it will reach a certain height, then it will come down due to gravitation. So we have learned that earth attracts objects towards it. This is due to gravitational force. So whenever an object falls towards earth under force, we say that objects are in free fall, because there is no any other force acting on this object. It is only the force of gravitation. So here, when there is a free fall, velocity will be changing because acceleration is changing. So any change in velocity is known as acceleration. So, and this acceleration is not due to any other force, it is due to gravitational force. So this acceleration, which is due to gravitational force, is called as acceleration due to gravity. So this acceleration is not denoted by A, it is denoted by small g, and the SI unit of g will also be same as acceleration, that is meter per second inverse square, because it is acceleration but due to gravity, that's why it is denoted by z. Now if we want to calculate this acceleration due to gravity, again we thrown a stone. Let us say that the mass of this stone was small m and the force acting on it was gravitational force, and acceleration due to it was gravitational force, that is z. So if we want to calculate the force, so force here will be product of mass into acceleration. So here mass is small m and acceleration is small g. Now we have equation that force is equal to g, capital G, into product of mass upon d square, but here F is equal to mg, so we can put it like m into small g is equal to capital G upon m into m upon d square. Now here is also small m and here is also small m, and here m is equal to mass of earth, because we are talking about stone and earth only. So two objects, we have to put this mass of these two objects. So first one will be mass of earth and second one will be mass of stone. G will be acceleration due to gravity, distance we know, and capital G is gravitational constant. But we have to calculate this acceleration due to gravity, that is small g. So small g is equal to capital G upon into m upon d square. So here m is mass of earth, distance is distance between stone and earth, and small g is acceleration due to gravity. Now if we say that this is earth and acceleration is acting due to this gravitational force which is present in center, so here if the throws is near the surface of earth, the stone which we have thrown upward will be near to surface of earth. It is definite, it will not get a higher height than this, so it is near the surface of earth. So distance, we can say that it is radius of earth. Here distance between stone and earth is radius of earth. So you can say, you can write this formula like this, where you will replace distance by radius of earth, that is r square. And we know that earth is not a perfect sphere, means it is not a perfect round. So this value of r will be changing if you go around these poles, and this is equator. So radius of earth increases as it goes to the equator. To the poles it is small, but to the equators it is large. But whenever any object is near the surface of earth, you can say that distance is equal to radius. If we want to calculate now this acceleration due to gravity, we have to put these values of these physical quantities, and we have these values. Like we have gravitational constant, which is 6.7 into 10 raised to the power minus 11. We have mass of earth also, which was 6 into 10 raised to the power 24 kg, and we have radius also, which is 6.4 into 10 raised to the power 6 meter. So by putting these values in this equation, like 6.7 into 10 raised to the power minus 11 into 6.10 in raised to the power 24 kg, that is g into m, that is gravitational constant into mass of earth, upon the square of this radius, that is 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 square. So by calculating this, you will get that acceleration due to gravity, which is denoted by small g, is equal to 9.8 meter per second inverse square. So this value of acceleration is constant for any object which is nearer to the surface of earth. So this is acceleration due to gravity. In our next lecture, we will study motion of objects under the influence of gravitational force of earth. Thank you, students.